What happened? What happened to us? Just now we were ambushed.
Yeah, I don't think they won't stop until they shoot me. They have to shoot me, I think, and then they'll.
Wait, what? Why you? What? Sorry,
They got to make a point.
To make what? Did you do? Did you do something? What did?
So, all right, I'll start from the very beginning. Chase starts. Okay. I'm not sure what the initial chase was over. I'm pretty sure. Oh, I'm sorry. It was at a Hornies. We got a call that Hornies was about to get robbed. So we roll up on Mirror Park Boulevard. We're about to stop the individual at the Hornies. Guy shoots out of his car at the building. We then pursue to get into an 80. Car flees for around 25 to 35 minutes. Ends up ultimately going up a staircase. Can't fit. Foot bail. We go after these individuals on foot bail. Two guys are running out of the car. Other individuals running out of the car. One gets in a two-door coupe. Coupe drives away. The individual inside. At this point, it's it's a laughable chase. Everyone's having a good time. Hell, the coupe pulled over. I had things that I took from an individual that looked awfully like another individual. I won't even say his name. I forgot to give him back. I give him back these things, and the chase continues. It's a very good chase. As the chase develops, right, I go VCB on a two-door vehicle. I bumped him into the water on purpose. Again, laughable. Call out UTL. Pull off of that vehicle. They get in another, two other vehicles. They come back. Now, those two people who were on foot bail, they're still on foot bail. They're still running. Well, whenever we pull back up to those two people, as we're arresting one, he gets put in cuffs. Then he says he gets scuffed, so he gets out of cuffs. Then he gets back in cuffs. Cries about being scuffed again. So we put him in a vehicle for him. Ton of leniency. Again, laughable, good time of a chase. Those cars all split and they all start running. They set up a block because they couldn't get away from us. Like, it went from laughable to serious because they realized that they couldn't get away from us. We were on it.
Pretty sure I heard you say that on the radio.
Yeah, they literally could not get away. I even called out that they were probably going to shoot because they literally couldn't get away. So they set up a block. What they're angry about is they set up a block next to the hospital on Elgin. Elgin. Pillbox. They set up a block there. And I don't know who it was. It might have been me. I don't remember. I'll have to remember who it is. But basically, block gets set. And our officers just drive straight into the block to try and bump the car out of the way. Could have been me. Maybe someone else. Whatever. Hits the car. Car does like a 180 up in the air. Tire pops. We all pull off of that car. No one chases it. No one does anything. We just wanted to get through the block. We get through the block. We leave. That car is now by itself, not getting chased. He goes and swaps vehicles again. The chase continues. We're driving up the freeway, down the freeway. They then go to set up a block in the alleyways right next to our hospital. You know, the block that goes through that alleyway on parallel to Innocence Boulevard and Elysium Fields Freeway. That alleyway with a little...
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah. So we go through there. I am right behind that vehicle, that two-door muscle car that we're chasing. Okay? I know that the block is coming. So I tell... Yes. So I tell one officer to go left. The other officer goes right. I am sniffing their ass. Their block vehicle then adjusts in the alleyway. When he adjusts, the car in front of me hits the brakes. I am on his fucking ass. I hit him with my bubble. He then launches forward. I slam on the brakes. Not fast enough. We hit him. Right? Now, no one is getting out of their car for cuffs. No one's doing anything like that. I go to hit the reverse to allow them to switch vehicles because, again, I fucking pummeled them. They get out of the car upset.
Well,
they start shooting.
Hold on. Is this a reunion? What's everybody need?
I came over here to say, Capt, they said that was your fault. That's why they did it to me. They blamed it all on you. They said this is for cider. Yeah.
What I tell y'all.
Wow.
I know him too well, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know him
he said,
too
this
well.
is for cider. You're all dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish we had a little bit more context before we followed this guy into a fucking alleyway.
Why'd you follow a guy in the alleyway?
Because we were pulling him over because it was called in that they might have been the suspect that shot down Prince. So First Sergeant and I were like, okay, we got him here around the corner. So he pulled over to the side towards an alley.
Yeah, I was pumping gas and he pistol whipped me and then shot me.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking
All for their
He's a
3
savage,
phones
that guy.
snagged? What the fuck?
They didn't
just had
like our block entry attempts and the way we were going through blocks.
Can we reach out to them, Captain? Let them know what they're doing. You know what I mean? Do you know who it may have been?
Yeah, I can make a phone call, see if I can talk them off the. I mean, it's just we're at the point every single fucking time, man. It results in officers just getting shot afterwards. You know, it's. I feel like every time.
Shit, there was a bee.
Appreciate that. Every time we get in this situation, man, it's always cops fucked up here, kill him. Cops fucked up there, kill him. My bigger problem here.
Imagine
is,
if it was reversed.
Oh, I know. Well, and that's.
Oh, that guy was a rat. Let me shoot the next motherfucker.
Okay, so and this is my point exactly. And I tried to explain it to Peanut downstairs, and I said, "Listen, man, like I understand you're frustrated." And yes, the cops probably shouldn't have went through that block, but at the same time, we see 48 blocks a day, all day long. It's not an excuse. It's just when you see it all the time, your first instinct is fuck this block. Let me go through it. And that's something that I struggle with it. I go through blocks all the fucking time, right? And it's something we do need to stop. But I will say this, and I mean this: if every single time these criminals did some scummy shit to us, and we just started shooting them, we would start shooting a lot of fucking people. You know, I feel like every single time.
Challenge them to VR.
Every single time there's some leeway, it's on our side, and I'm at that point where I'm willing to do it. I'm not mad, you know. It's fucking.
Call them up, sir. We'll get 5. You get them 5. We'll go into
They
VR.
won't do that. They won't do that. They won't.
Right.
So with that being said, what we can change here.
Tell them I'll give them $10,000.
They won't do it. They'll lure us into an alleyway later and ambush us.
All right.
What I will say is we do need to try, and me included, try and make sure that if we have a parallel unit running, especially for a block, and we are prepared, we cannot drive through it. We got to stop doing that.
There's some blocks that they're very hard to parallel unless you know if you predict it, right?
Yeah.
There's some of them that you almost can't parallel them because they're just really crazy. Like let's say doing the tunnels, right? They go into the tunnels and they put like a box truck right in the way, whatever. They could come out of this exit, this exit. Nobody can follow them, see where they go. So you have to leave one car there, okay? Because the motherfucker in the box truck might move it and they come out that end. You get other 3 officers going. By the time you get all the exits covered, you're all one cop sitting at each exit. They'll just gun that motherfucker down and they're gone.
Exactly.
There's nothing you can do.
Yeah, it's a very we're stuck between a really shitty spot where it's like they want us to respect their blocks when they're doing 7 blocks in one fucking chase. They're switching cars 7 fucking times. They're doing all of this shit, and they're allowed to do all this shit. And then they expect that when a block happens and it's a shitty block, that our officers not to try and get through it. It's just to me, man. It's one of those things where I hear it and it just makes my skin crawl. Because we give so much leeway the entire chase, and we go through one block, and that's what we complain about. Hey, what's up, James?
Right. I got the report ready.
I gotta be like.
Okay. Is he arguing the charges?
All right.
It's like
Lieutenant.
It's like 220 months.
It's not going to be hit sentence and see how much it is after that.
It should only be like 85-90. So.
Okay, good. All right, I'll come down.
I stuttered. I was gonna say LT, and then I was like,
I'm gonna have a talk. Yeah, I'll have a talk with him. I'm gonna have a talk with High Command on EMS. So at that scene, we get the people medical help. They then say we're gonna go to MRPD. One of them starts instantly the 95s, which I said in the meeting this was gonna happen, and I even pulled him aside beforehand, and it still happened. One of the 95s then starts complaining about how he's hurting so bad. So then the EMS say we're going to the hospital. Then the EMS start arguing amongst each other. Then as they're driving and they're like, okay, never mind, we're going to the MRPD, one of the suspects just starts seizing. So then they stop the EMS car. They take him out of the EMS. Then one EMS driver says, fuck it, I'll go to MRPD with these 2, just drives off. So then our officers are split. We get all the way to the garage. Then he goes, oh, never mind, we got to go to the hospital. What's his name just said we got to go there. So then we go back to the hospital. And all of our officers are now split. And by the time the 95s were in the bed, no officers were even inside the hospital.
Oh my God.
So I'm going to have a talk with the EMS and basically explain how this cannot happen. You know, like make sure that every medical problem that could possibly happen is covered. So if they start saying something is happening, EMS can go, no, it's not. You know what I mean? Because that's the worst thing we can do. I mean, fuck, we pulled over on the side of the road lane where the shootout just happened, completely exposed, to give medical attention to a guy who says he was seasoned and then was completely fine 3 seconds later.
Well, until we get a hold of this captain, what do you think about like a mandatory double badge for now?
I was gonna say that.
Hey, firm, go ahead and let's do that.
Yeah.
I want Lane to announce it on the radio.
Yeah.
Also, we had about a week or two ago, we had another one of these situations. I don't know if it was the same group or not, but there was the jump to La Puerta. You know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Like the garbage jump where you jump the wall onto lower La Puerta.
Yep.
We had a truck pull out in front of the jump and an interference car pull out in front as well. The primary officer, which was us, we hit the brakes, so we didn't slam them. But a secondary car came through and just fucking yeeted that truck. I mean, he slammed it. And immediately, one of them got out and just started shooting. Like, just right off the rip.
Probably the same group.
So we're not supposed, and I remember this from a while back, we are supposed to, I don't want to say respect the block, but at the same time, don't ram it, right? Like, if it's a low speed, whatever, push it out the way, sure, but not just, full throttle, ram that fucking block.
100%.
Right? I remember that specifically. So I'm not really sure what officers are doing. We haven't really gone over blocks that much, to be honest.
Well, I'll tell you this. The commissioner has made it very clear to even myself and every officer that, it's not supposed to be done that way. But again, I go back to the point where it's easy for us to sit here and say that, right? But the reality of the situation is we have officers who are here for hours and hours and hours every single day. When they see as many blocks as that they see, their first instinct is, fuck this block, I'm just going to go through. Because they get treated like shit by every single criminal in this city all day long. And the reality of the situation is that they get tired of it. So they do just say, fuck it, and slam into the car. So I think, it's one of those things where we just got to reel everybody back, including myself.
I think the best way to try and squeeze through a block like that is being on the ass like that. Now, that might turn into what happened today. But that's usually what I do. When I go through a tight alleyway and I expect a block, I just get real close to them. Yeah. Because it makes whoever's blocking, it makes their job a lot harder because they don't want to hit them. They want to hit me.
Yeah, I mean, in the block that they did was the Elgin jump, right next to Pillbox, that little, that opening guardrail that jumps down to the garage below. Like, that's a block. You're not paralleling that shit. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, the only option was to go through that to continue the chase. So maybe we just say fuck it and just let the chase go at that point. I don't know. I got to go deal with this 95, though. I don't want him waiting any longer.
All right. I'll let him know the double.